Welcome to Wikipedia Reviewed, the only show on YouTube where we don't just read you the Wikipedia articles, we review them. And as always, every article is judged on a very scientific system where they are scored against factualityness, comprehensiveness, and most importantly. So with that out of the way, let's get into the Great Moon Hoax, also known as the Great Moon Hoax of 1835. How many moon hoaxes are there? The Great Moon Hoax, also known as the Great Moon Hoax of 1835, was a series of 6 articles published in The Sun, a New York newspaper, beginning on August 25th, 1835, about the supposed discovery of life and civilization on the moon. I love some moon life. I say moon men, let them be free. They walk among us, honestly, if you think about it. The discoveries were falsely attributed to Sir John Herschel and his fictitious companion, Andrew Grant. How are they saying it's someone fake who did this? Is Sir John Herschel a real guy and his companion is made up? Or are they both made up? Because the first one, I just don't know how you get there. It's like if you made up that Jeffrey Bezos had a little sidekick who followed him around everywhere. That'd be fun. The story was advertised. Hi, Angus. The story was advertised on August 21st, 1835 as an upcoming feature allegedly reprinted from the Edinburgh Courant. The first in a series of 6 was published 4 days later on August 25th. These articles were never redacted. However, on September 16th, 1835, The Sun admitted they were in fact fabricated. Can you believe that, Angus? That they would just make that up and lie? He's so disgusted he had to leave. I understand. This part out of the way, I want to get back into that image I was seeing up there. I think it's a lithograph. Let's read it. Let's learn a little. A lithograph of the hoax's Ruby Amphitheater as printed in The Sun. Well, hell yeah, that's fucking sick. These are my kind of moon people. I like that they're bat-like creatures over there. I don't know if Ruby is just like because it's red with blood or like what's going on, but it's a sick fucking name. And this is a sick setup. And are we like underground on the moon? Or is this like a dark side of the moon valley type of shit? Where are the rivers on the moon coming from though? That's what I want to get into. Give me the hydrology. That's what the people want. See if there's any cool ass details. Alright, after inspecting for further details, I can confirm there are funny ass moon animals and there are funny ass heads on these bat people. So we're getting into the hoax itself now, I see, and we're starting off with a solid portrait of a man bat, Vespertilio-homo, from an edition of the Moon series published in Naples. So did they have different moon images of moon creatures around the world? If so, that makes it even better. Who's getting a New York magazine in Naples in 1835? I'm sorry, newspaper. See what the headline says here. Great astronomical discoveries lately made by Sir John Herschel, LLD, FRS, and C at the Cape of Good Hope, from supplement to the Edinburgh Journal of Science. So the newspaper itself said it was for Sir John Herschel, because the way it made it sound earlier was like, oh no, it's someone else though, and that other people were the ones who said it was him. But this is just saying that it was him from the start. I don't know. The article described animals on the moon, including bison, single-horned goats, mini zebras, unicorns, bipedal tailless beavers, and bat-like winged humanoids who built temples. This is a great landscape. You got mini beaver, you got mini zebras, and you have bipedal tailless beavers, which is such a oddly specific and weird creature to come up with, and unicorns, but nothing in between the mini zebras and the unicorns, so, you know, we can tell that, you know, they're not related enough where they can breed, I think. I know how that works. But they're single-horned goats, not really sure what the evolutionary advantage is, but it seems like the moon is home to multiple single-horned creatures, which is interesting. Also, I really want to hear more about these temples, because I have no idea what the fuck that's about. That sounds sick as shit. There were trees, oceans, and beaches. These discoveries were supposedly made with an immense telescope of entirely new principle. What does that mean? That it means it's a totally new method of how it's used, or like it got a new principle at its school? That's a really shitty fucking joke. And anyways, they got a really big ass telescope. Transport to South Africa from New England was said to be many times larger than any other telescope in the world. The lens measured 24 feet in diameter and weighed 7 tons. Shit, that's big. But hold on. How big are our modern ones? Okay, so I looked it up and it looks like there's a telescope that's like 34 feet in diameter, so checks out, I guess. Unless you're talking about that Chinese shit, then that shit's on a different level. That's crazy. Okay, so Vespertilio-homo can be translated from Latin as man-bat, Batman, or man-bats. Whoa, it's a Batman and man-bat. Whoa, that's crazy. I don't have any commentary here. Oh, a reprinted edition a year later, so after they already said that it was fake, added a second type of man-bat named the Vespertilionis. Okay, so it was penned by Dr. Andrew Grant, the traveling companion and amanuensis of Sir John Herschel, but he was fictitious. Okay, what is that word? Oh, it just means someone who writes shit down for you. Amanuensis. I don't know how to say it. Anyways, it's just a scribe who follows you around and writes shit down for you. That sounds like a lit job. Eventually, the authors announced that the observations had been terminated by the destruction of the telescope by means of the sun causing the lens to act as a burning glass, setting fire to the observatory. Now that's a good cover story. That's a good fucking cover story. They just said, hey, you ever use a magnifying glass to burn something when you were a kid? Exact same thing happened. Burned out the whole fucking thing. Maybe at first I did think by the sun they meant the newspaper itself. I don't know. Maybe they're playing that 5-head game out there. Maybe they're on some other shit. All right, now let's get into the authorship. Ooh, and it looks like we're starting off with a nice little map of the moon itself, I think. Kind of showing the oceans and the valleys and things. I'm not exactly sure. It doesn't offer that much information in the description here, but it's cool. It's cool looking, especially with the other shit. Really good, actually. Okay, and then it looks like we get another picture of the moon creatures. This time from the Welsh edition. And okay, we can definitely see a little temple over there. I'm liking that. And some bird-like creatures, and we got the bat things. Now, what about those other species of bat people? How are they different? Because I don't think it really talked about it. It just listed them. Unless I forgot already, I don't think I've had that much to drink. Let's see what it says about the authorship. First, people didn't know who the fuck the author was. And then it was attributed to Richard Adam Locke, a reporter who in August 1835 was working for the Sun, and then publicly admitted to being the author in 1840 in a letter to the weekly paper New World. But I'm guessing we're gonna be disputing that. Despite his claims though, it looks like people are still saying that no, it's not actually you, it's someone else. Which I do love conviction that we're seeing out of these people here. That's good on you. Investigate. Don't trust them. Do your own fucking research. 2 other men have been noted to be connected with the hoax. Jean Nicolas Nicolet, which is a great name. Okay, so he was a French astronomer going through America at the time. He was in Mississippi though. And then there was Lewis Gaylord Clark, editor of the Knickerbocker, a literary magazine. However, there's no good evidence to actually suggest that either of them are it. Well, why do people claim it though then? I want to know a little more about that. Where are these claims coming from? They're coming out of nowhere? I'm hoping we get a little bit more into that. I'm gonna be disappointed if we don't. If we assume that the guy who said yeah, I actually wrote this article and I was working for them at the time, is actually telling the truth, which hard to believe, then his intentions were probably first to create a sensational story that would get them more sales, and then second, you know, it's a little parody of some of the more extravagant astronomical theories that have been going around at the time. So he meant to act as satire to show how science can be and is influenced by the thoughts of religion, which, that's okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, you had a lot of crazy shit. It's the early 1800s or mid, and I'm sure that people were just killing themselves left and right back then, I feel. An example is in 1824, Franz von Paula-Gruthenstein, professor of anatomy at Munich University, it published a paper titled Discovery of Many Distant Traces of Lunar Inhabitants, especially of one of their colossal buildings. Guys, I don't know if we were up to date on, did you know about this? Because I didn't know that they had giant moon buildings. Shit, big discovery here. One theory is that this paper is responsible for inspiring the articles written by him, which, I mean, that makes total sense. I agree. In his paper, Gutenstein claims to have observed various shades of color on the lunar surface, which he correlated with climate and vegetation zones. What color did you see on the moon? Really? Because last I checked, I mean, the moon can be about 3 colors, which is red, blue, and white, or just nothing at all. And you know, last I checked, that vegetation typically we see vegetation as being green. Just saying. Climate zones, fun fact, it's not actually colored in like the map totally, but it kind of is. I don't know what I mean by that. But also, you were about colossal structures, not that they were growing something, so where's that? Okay, so he said he also observed lines and geometric shapes, which he felt indicated the existence of walls, roads, fortifications, and cities. Imagine if real fucking archaeology was generally this fucking easy, where you could just like look at the fucking ground and be like, yep, whole ass city here. Nothing's ever buried, you know, it just happened to be on the surface. I'm sure this isn't really a great argument I'm making, but I don't know. The argument they're making seems stupid as well, so. Okay, so then we got some reactions here. We got a nice little, you know, old-timey ass newspaper boy delivering some. And then we got this other one, this article or something for it. I'm not sure what it is. And then of course, we have another sick moonscape. I like that this one has some volcanoes, some tropical plants. There's a lot going on. I don't like that I didn't get the actual text of that one article image down beneath. I don't know, it's blurry on my end. So hopefully later me puts in a little bit of voiceover to let that shit go, because it seems cool. Go, me.
The clouds still rested on one half of it, insomuch that I could discover nothing. But the other appeared to me a vast plain, on which there were innumerable animals that were covered in fruits and flowers and inhabited a race of 1,000 little shining seas that ran among them. I could see persons dressed in glorious habits, with garlands upon their heads, passing over sea after lying down by the sides of fountains or resting on beds of flowers, and could hear a confused harmony of singing birds falling in harmonious voices and musical instruments. Blindness came to me upon the discovery of so delightful a scene. I wish for the wings of an eagle, that I may fly away to those happy seats. But the geniuses told me that there was no passage to them, except through the gates of death that I saw opening every moment near me.
According to legend, the sun's circulation dramatically increased because of the hoax and remained permanently greater than before, thereby establishing the sun as a successful paper. Is this the same The Sun that I've seen before? It brought the journal to international fame, because I mean, it's being sold in Wales and Naples, so yeah. And the hoax resembled crime reports that allowed the readers to play detective, trying to discover the truth. I'm not sure I agree with that last part, because I don't really get how you're playing detective if it's just telling you about it. I mean, I guess it's kind of like, okay, well, there are these observations, let's infer more on their society and cultures. So actually, I'm fucking wrong. It's right there. That's pretty sick. The article made me think. think. I like it. However, the degree to which the hoax increased the paper's popularity has definitely been exaggerated, it sounds like. It was not discovered to be a hoax for several weeks until after its publication, and even then, the newspaper did not issue a retraction. I don't really see how those are related or relevant to each other, because yeah, obviously it can be fake as shit and they can still get an increase in fucking sales. Like, what is it trying to argue here? That because it's a fucking fake-ass event, then it has to, like, not have actually worked? This doesn't make sense. Like, people are gonna see a fucking moon story about moon people and fucking moon rivers and moon temples, and yeah, I'm gonna go buy the fucking moon newspaper? Who else is telling me about these moon people? The truth needs to get out! Herschel was initially amused by the hoax, noting that his own real observations could never be as exciting. He later became annoyed when he had to answer questions from people who believed that it was serious. I don't think he has room to get annoyed here. I'm just saying that he sounds like he's dodging the actual fucking truth. Oh, Edgar Allan Poe claimed it was a plagiarism of one of his works, The Unparalleled Adventure of One Hans Pfaall, and Hans Pfaall, a tale published in the Southern Literary Messenger. Okay, so his editor at the time was Richard Adams Locke, and he later published the balloon hoax in the same newspaper. Don't really know how that one fits, but... And then, ooh, shit. The Hans one was published under the headline, Lunar Discoveries, Extraordinary Aerial Voyage by Baron Hans Pfaall. Look, guy, I gotta be honest, I don't think you're the only one to make up moon people. It is interesting, though, how he was working at the paper at the time, so I mean, I don't know. So Poe described a voyage to the moon in a balloon in which Pfaall lives for 5 years on the moon with Lunarians and sends back a Lunarian to Earth. The Poe moon hoax was less successful because of the satiric and comical tone of the account. Also, it obviously doesn't sound like it's real. The other one is meant to sound like a fucking hoax. Seems to be the point that we established earlier. Locke was able to upstage Poe and steal his thunder? I don't know about. These seem like they're doing different things. It's like, yeah, they got the same fucking theme, but I don't think he's like stealing his fucking thunder for it. In 1846, Poe would write a biographical sketch of Locke as part of his series, The Literary of New York City, which appeared in Goody's Lady Book. Don't know how that's relevant. It just said he wrote about him. Cool, let's go to the context. Locke's sensational reports were not out of place in the context of the mass proliferation of penny press newspapers such as the New York Sun, which received much of their income from advertisements, a business practice made sustainable by large number of readers. Okay, YouTube. The Sun was a pioneer when it came to producing shocking and often sensational shit. Ooh, scandalous. Ooh, they're often the first newspaper to report on murder, suicides, personal events, and divorces. Truly, innovators of their time. And it was because of stories such as these that the Sun thrived in attracting readers to their articles and thus their advertisements. Either that, or making up fucking moon stories, or spreading the truth about them. I'm just saying. Spread the truth. The success of such sensational stories as the Great Moon Hoax can partially be attributed to the influence of contemporary speculative science. Figures like the revered Thomas Dick, who claimed that the moon was inhabited by billions of beings, had captured the public's imagination. In the early 19th century, Locke's hoax played on similar popular beliefs, presenting them as the latest scientific findings from the then well-respected astronomer Sir John Herschel, which lent credibility to this bitch. And now, for the legacy. Which, of course, we gotta start off with another great moonscape. You love to see a good moonscape. You love to see a good moon temple, some good moon palm trees. Everyone loves these features of the moon. Everyone knows about them now. Or they should, if they didn't fucking cover this shit up and fake the fucking moon landing. Just saying. The hoax is featured in Gotham, A History of New York City to 1898. Winner of the Pulitzer Prize for History. That sounds cool. Good for them. The Moon Trilogy, a series of fantasy novels by the Polish author Jerry, published in 1903 to 1911. The series consists of 3 novels, On the Silver Globe, Manuscripts from the Moon, and The Conqueror and Old Earth. Great fucking titles. This Polish guy's killing it. Good on you, Jersey. My bad, I called you Jerry. I'm sorry, Jersey. Cool ass way to spell it. Nate, his history podcast, The Memory Palace, dedicated a 2010 episode to it, entitled The Moon and the Sun. It's a weird title, not as catchy as the other guy's stuff. The Hoax inspired a 3-part musical by composer Matt Don, is a part of his radio musicals, Pulp Musicals. Sounds cool. Good on him. Richard Adam Locke and the Great Moon Hoax were fictionalized in Chapter 14 of Felix J. Palma's 2012 novel, The Map of the Sky. Citation needed, though. Not sure why we need a citation. And lastly, the hoax reflected a time when readers were looking for entertainment as much as information from penny press newspapers, which would later change with the development of ethical reporting. Nerds. Ethical reporting. Fucking nerd talking, alright? And then we got a little see also section. Let's see who we have. Alright, we got The Balloon Hoax by Edgar Allan Poe. We have Bat Boy the character, but not Batman or Man-Bat, which I am wondering now if this kind of shit stems from it. Because, I mean, it's New York as well, and there are Man-Bat people, and I don't know. The pulp shit is also where it came from, so, like, I know there's a lot of separation, and there's probably other creatures that could have inspired it as well. What else? We have Lunacy, The Man in the Mooney, Martian Canals, always a good one, Martian Canals. We have Moon Landing Conspiracy Theory. That's right, they covered it up. Then we have A Trip to the Moon, 1902 French science fiction film, and where it's inhabited by aliens. Oh, is that the one with the creepy ass moon thing? I think I've seen that one. Yeah, that one's a great one. You should watch it. It's fun. And then A True Story, written by someone, featuring bizarre encounters on the moon. And lastly, War of the fucking Worlds, which I think we know. Okay, so with the article itself knocked out, I went ahead and took a glance at the talk page here. And it seems like one of the good points that someone's bringing up is that the article claims that the moon hoax was satirized by a book by Thomas Dick, but wasn't published till 2 years later, but it's still cited as a source. And then there's also the stuff about the stealing of the thunder with Edgar Allan Poe, and like, that doesn't make any fucking sense in this. So I will agree that this article has its flaws, but to fully get into that, let's actually review this. So first off, factualityness. I gotta say, it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid, but it's not all the way there. It's not quite there. I'm gonna give it a Edgar Allan Poe Balloon Boy hoax out of a moon hoax. It's just not the same standard that you want. It's not revealing those same truths about the world that you want. There's a little to be desired with like the stealing the thunder part, and also some sourcing, and there was that one citation needed, so there's just one. Like, it's not bad or anything, it's just like, I don't know. I would have liked a little bit more, or maybe a little more discussion on the moon itself. Sorry, that's me getting ahead of myself, because for that, we're on to comprehensiveness. And I gotta say, I don't really feel like it was as comprehensive as I wanted it to be. I feel that, you know, we could have used a bit more talk about the different man-bat creatures. We could have used a little more description of the temples and things like that. Like, it mentioned that it was a religious thing and like it had ties to that, but then it didn't actually establish like in what way that meant, how those were applied in this context necessarily, other than just saying, yeah, they're fucking temples, obviously. Everyone fucking knows they're moon fucking temples, which we all do know that they're actually moon temples. Everyone fucking knows that. My point is that I would like more information. That one newspaper thing, it had like so many words that I didn't see in the actual article. I would like that. I would like some actual quotes from the actual fucking newspaper itself. And then there was the whole thing about the sun increasing popularity because of it. And I know that's more factualityness, but I just thought of it right now and it's another point away. What would I score this? I'd score this a sensationalized journalism out of ethical reporting. Yeah, like I was saying, we're not getting all the facts. We're not getting all the details that really let us form our own decisions about this. To, you know, tell everyone the actual fucking truth that there are moon people out there. They're fucking moon people. But that does bring us to the actual most important rating of all. Vibes. And I gotta say, The vibes of this I rate as the bipedal beaver of the moon. It's interesting. It catches my attention. But there's not enough to sustain it. Like, I'll look into why it's like that. You know, why does the beaver not have a tail? In what world did it evolve to not have the tail, and why? Also, are these related to earth beavers? Are any of the animals related, actually? That's a good question I didn't think about. I want to know about that. But it's just not quite the vibes that I'm wanting here. Because I want more moon facts. I want more crazy moon shenanigans. I want more moon pictures. I want just more moon things. And I feel like it focused so much on like this surface level kind of vibes about the newspaper itself, the consequence or whatever. Not the consequence, but fuck it. You know what I mean. Yeah, I just feel that the vibes, they weren't off the fucking chart. I didn't have like a crazy time here. It was fun. It was cool. It was interesting. But you know, it's just a little pit stop. I'm never gonna revisit this. I just don't care enough. It didn't inspire me enough. Maybe I should, but hey, that's the article's fault. I think with that very scientific and very accurate score, we're done here for today. So why don't you go ahead and watch my video on the Ball of the Burning Man or Great Michigan Pizza Funeral, or go and watch my fucking Berserkers video on my channel Antiquarian Archive, because it's fucking insane. It's good shit. Either way, really what helps me the best is watching my videos back to back to back, and then also loading in similar ones, so please do that if you can. Also, don't watch with ad block because it doesn't count as views anymore, so run ad block on it normally, but then in the background, mute one and run it like that. You do that for me, right? Bye!